I'm going to teach you guys how to harness the power of your sweet goddess love obsession to magnetize your specific person to you. When I say that this is a superpower, I am not joking. The power of love obsession that I'm going to teach you to harness, and also wait and watch until the end of the video because I'm going to tell you the things that you can do that are going to keep you from doing this. So I'm going to cover mistakes at the end of the video to make sure that you guys know exactly how to harness this obsession energy to magnetize your person to you and make them crazy about you. So yeah, this is a very, very powerful and pure energy, and it's very specific, right? So if you want to manifest something, you have to make sure that you have hit that vibration nail on the head. Okay. So I'm going to talk about that in this video because I know there's a lot of people who want to do this, but they don't know exactly how. I'm going to teach you how. Right. So love obsession is a very, very, very powerful energy, because what do we know about love? And if you've been watching my podcasts and my lives that I've been doing every day, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. EST, I've been teaching you guys about energetics and how, unconditional love and the soul energy and truth energy, and how these vibrations of love and truth, they're very healing, right? This is how we transcend all circumstances. And so I'm super excited to get into this with you guys, because this love obsession energy, don't get it twisted, okay? This is the ultimate healing energy. It's a way to embody unconditional love really, really well. And it's one of the most phenomenal ways to make circumstances not matter. And talk about magnetism. This is something that I've been doing my entire life. I can't even shut it off, right? I can turn it on like higher, right? Like a higher magnetism attraction with this love obsession energy. And I can direct it specifically and, use it specifically. But this is something that I'm good at. So I'm going to teach you guys about that here. All right. So here is the thing about making your specific person, right? Magnetizing them to you and making them obsessed with you. First of all, I got to tell you guys, this is something that you're going to do from a God state, which I've also been teaching you guys about, right? I did Siren last month in the Manifesting University that takes you all through a program on how to enter God's state, all the things. Okay, but I also talk about God's state on my channel. You guys know that it's important. And so, right, when I'm actually harnessing this energy effectively, and when I know that it's working, I'm in a God state. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to switch into that God state. So you have to first, like the first step to sort of getting into this state, God goddess state, so that you'll be able to flip into like the obsession, magnetization energy that will pull them to you. You have to have an awareness of where you are. Okay. So there's two different states, essentially. There's an infinite number of states and dimensions, but essentially you're either in like a human or ego state, or you're in like a God state or soul level state that bypasses all the circumstances of the mind and all of the thoughts and fears and doubts of the mind. So you see why this is super important. When you just flip over to God state or a soul level state, automatically all of the human concerns that you had go away. And so, I think that the way that a lot of people approach manifesting is they're like, oh, I don't know how to get myself to know that circumstances don't matter. I don't know how to make my emotions behave. I don't know how to align my thoughts and make my thoughts behave. I don't know how to apply these teachings. It's just a matter of what state that you're in. No matter how you try to control yourself or manipulate yourself, or no matter how you try to figure it out, you're never going to be able to do that from a human state, right? So that's why I've been focusing a lot in my podcast with you guys here on the energetics behind manifesting and manifesting from soul. All these things are going to help you do this right here. Okay. So if you want free information, just go to my recent podcast that I've been doing and brush up on those more recent live podcast videos. Okay. So you have to be able to identify when you're in a human state where you're not going to be able to achieve this. Okay. The awareness that, oh, I'm in a human state, that is necessary in order for you to use your free will to deliberately direct yourself and take yourself on a journey to God's state. I do this very, very frequently, right? Like, and I know that when I'm in a human state, I just gonna direct myself into a God state. So it's not very difficult to do. It doesn't have to take a long time if you kind of know what you're looking for and how to direct yourself. So, like I said, the first thing is being aware. How are you gonna know if you're in a human state? So, a human or ego mind state is characterized by you worrying, any worrisome thoughts, any trying to figure it out, when you're feeling like the situation is confusing and complicated, when you're feeling like circumstances are insurmountable, when you feel like you can't figure it out and you're trying to figure it out, and also when you find yourself taking action trying to mitigate the circumstantial issues. Okay, those are all indications that you're in a human state. When you're in a human state, you're not going to know how to get out of it. You're going to feel like there's no other way to be. That is a lie. So you need to be aware that just because I feel like I'm in a human, like I'm in this place and I don't know how else to see reality, it doesn't mean that there isn't a way for me to take on an infinite mindset and manifest infinitely outside of this box reality that I happen to be in. Every reality is just one option in an infinite number of options in the universe for like what dimension and what state that you can manifest. So, like I said, awareness is the first state to getting out of human state. Then you have to know, even though the human mind doesn't know I can get out of this, you have to remember and know that, okay, I'm going to take myself on a journey to God's state. And so I'll tell you a few of the things just really quick that I do to navigate myself and what you can do to navigate yourself into a God state so that you can very quickly switch yourself into this, like, your feminine superpower, goddess obsession, magnetization energy, and flip it on. So again, these are all things that I teach much more detail in my Manifesting University, but I'm going to go over the few things that I know top of mind right now that I do that work. So what I know is that the human mind, ego, and when I'm in the human mind and the ego and like the mental body is running, I know that that's all circumstantial focus, and it's very like wordy, it's very like focused on the thoughts and the things and the circumstances, and there's lots of words across my mind. And I know that in order to enter a God state, I have to switch to being able to harness an energy and embody an energy and focus on the energy. And again, just because you feel like you can't reach something, it doesn't mean that you can't do it in 5 to 10 minutes. You are taking yourself on a journey. That is you exercising your free will to go from human state to God state, okay? So one of the first thoughts that I have to get myself out of a reality is infinite mindset and infinite manifesting. So I know that I can get outside of this frame of reality that I feel like I am in. And I sort of start reaching outside of the human box of limitation that I'm in, and I start trying to feel for whatever feels good. So I think of things that I want, things I want to create, things that I want, but the focus is very unique. Okay. The focus is not, I want these things. The focus is, I'm interested in harnessing the energy of love and appreciation for a thing. Okay. So I know that from a human state, it's hard for me to feel anything good. And so that's what I'm reaching for, not to try to obtain something, but I'm reaching for like the thought of something that I feel connected to. Okay. Because I want to connect back to the energy of love, appreciation, inspiration. And that is what expands your horizons. If it sounds woo woo, I'm sorry, but this is manifesting. Manifesting is energetics, and manifesting is you deliberately navigating yourself to a different state, a different train of thought, a different energy, and a different reality altogether. This catapults your capabilities when it comes to what you can manifest. So, I just sort of, take myself on a journey, and I might start writing things down, right? I might do, not necessarily, a little scripting, right? And I do a bit of following my joy. What is following your joy? Following your joy is you're looking for to follow the path of energy. You're looking for, what do I appreciate? What do I love? What feels good? What's inspiring to me? Okay. That's what needs to be important to you. Not how am I going to fix myself so I can manifest a thing. That's an impure motivation that will keep you stuck in human ego mind. So I'm looking to harness, like, get on this breadcrumb trail and follow this breadcrumb trail where I'm like, oh, this is like a key in. This feels like something. I like this. Okay. And then I really, really get into entertaining the picture of what I feel that I want, that I feel connected to. Again, the trick is that it's not about trying to manifest a thing into form. It is, I am trying to find what inspires me, what I'm excited about, what I love, what I appreciate, what makes me feel, gratitude and thankfulness, because these realities are like conducive to God's state. They match God's state, because God's state is this state of knowing and solid foundation, and it's appreciation and it's love. When when you know what you know, what you know, what you know, when you're in the state of knowing in a good way, that's a very, very powerful energy. And so that's what love obsession is, or like when you turn on your, feminine superpower of that love obsession magnetization, you're in a complete state of knowing, and it becomes fun, and all circumstances, it doesn't matter. And so, like I said, this is a state. This is not something you can make yourself do from human state. This is a state. So there's also an acknowledgement that, you tell yourself and reorient yourself. You always got to put your head back on straight, right? So you have to reason with yourself and remind yourself, even though we already know this, you have to remind yourself, I know that circumstances don't actually matter. And all that matters is that I get into the energy of my end, that I get in my end and I live from my end. If I focus in this way, whatever it is that I believe and focus on, like, is going to happen, And so you allow yourself to go further into a God state by knowing that it's just a matter of focus. That way you don't keep being distracted by the idea of what ifs and ands and buts. Oh, but this is in the way. That won't happen when you remind yourself that I just need to put myself in this reality and feel it and engage with it. And circumstances are not going to matter. So you can know that even from a human state before you completely embody that. So you get hooked into your inspiration, you follow that feeling, you follow that flow, and you take yourself on a journey and you let that expand, and you let that breadcrumb trail take you, and you deliberately follow that breadcrumb trail. Very important. So when I come into the love obsession energy, magnetization energy, I will tell you what thoughts go through my head so that you understand what happens when you're in this state and what's representative of this love obsession magnetization state. So when I'm in the state, I'm no longer trying to convince myself. Now I feel and I know when I embody that circumstances don't matter. And so to such a degree that this is how you know that you're doing this right. So I will know it to such a degree that circumstances will make me feel excited and giddy. I have made many, many, many people fall in love with me just by doing this and knowing this. And when I have been in these states of knowing that I magnetize and I attract, it makes me excited when someone thinks that there's a circumstance, so for example, meeting someone who, oh, I've never been in love, or meeting someone who says they don't believe in love, or meeting someone who is far, far, far away from even being able to imagine anything like that. That makes me excited. You know what I'm thinking? What I'm thinking is, oh, you are so in for it. You're not going to know what hit you. It makes me excited because I know that I'm going to be able to draw them into something and make them experience something that they have never experienced before. So that's exciting, right? Because I get to be the one that manifests that for them and that attracts them into that. And it's going to blow them away completely, like never before. So that's super duper exciting to me. Okay. The trick is when you're in this goddess state of magnetic attraction, you'll see them talking and you'll see, if you're interacting with them, or if you're not with them, that doesn't matter, right? Time and space, like manifesting transcends time and space. So you don't have to be in front of someone to be doing this. Like manifesting is a no contact thing, doesn't require any contact. So let's say that whatever the circumstance that you think is, okay, and the more resistant that you think that they are, and the more resistant that you imagine that the situation is, right? The more of a long shot that it seems like, the more exciting it is. Because you know that this is going to be that much more amazing. They're going to be that much more surprised. They're going to be that much more pulled and magnetized and obsessed and dazzled and enchanted. I'm an enchantress. And so it's an energy. Now, the really, if you want to use an affirmation for this, because this is the affirmation that you'll naturally be thinking, like when you're in this energy, the affirmation is every time like some kind of circumstance comes up, the affirmation is they're not going to know what hit them. They're not going to know what hit them. Oh, you're in for it. That's what's running through your mind. Okay. So once you get into this God state, so once you learn God state, let's say God state is a separate thing. That's why I did it last month in Siren. Once you learn how to get into God state, it's just one stone throw away from learning how to do all of these things that I'm talking about. Okay. So then you just sort of apply your God state to be able to like do the things that I'm saying. So once you're there, you understand this as well. You understand that the excitement that you feel about this love and the connection that you feel about this love makes you undeniably extremely magnetic and powerful. You feel love. You want this love. And now that you're in this goddess feminine superpower state, there's no opposition. There's no contradiction in your vibration. There's no contradiction in your thought. And you know that and you observe that because you're just like enjoying this whole thing all along the way. Something that I do naturally, sort of in the space of my mind, that it's not really something that I try to do on purpose, but the way that like my self-concept and the way that I see myself, and this has been going on for years, is I just know in the world, everywhere that I go, that everyone is noticing me and everyone is attracted to me. And so if you make that addition to your self-concept, That's going to align with you being able to attract magnetic obsession. And then you can specifically direct that toward a specific person. It doesn't matter. You are meant to bring them into this love because you want to. So I'm going to go over the mistakes that people make that keep them from actually achieving this. Okay. So first of all, anytime that we're wanting to manifest something, the number one thing that is going to keep you from manifesting it is if you think like, oh, this is too hard or I can't do this. The human always thinks that. The human ego mind mechanism always thinks that. That doesn't make it true, right? So that's why I've been going these last 2 weeks telling you guys how to drop out of ego and into soul, how to drop the mind, how to manifest from soul. That's what all this is about. The other thing that will make this impossible for you is if you think that you wanting them to be obsessed with you is about you. It's not about you. This is not a superficial want or desire. This is not a not important thing. There's something very, very good and benevolent and harmonious and beneficial to all parties happening when you are manifesting a love obsession. Let me explain this to you. Okay. So a lot of people demonize the idea of manifesting a specific person because they're like, oh, you're interfering with their free will. First of all, nobody has free will in your reality but you. You're the ultimate creator in your reality. Okay. I have other videos on that. We're not going to get specifically deeply into that right now. But some people think that it's selfish or superficial or manipulative to try to manifest a specific person in love. I specifically am not teaching you guys to manifest a person that you do not actually love. So we don't worry about that on this channel. But if you love someone, manifesting them to be obsessed with you is pure and wonderful and good. And let me explain to you why. And it's very powerful, and this will help you manifest them. Because if you want to manifest a specific person, but you perceive that there's blocks in the way, usually these other people, they want you too. Or that if you were able to actually share a love with them, that would be something really good, right? A life enriching endeavor. You know that the both of you could be harmonious and happy. Why not? Like there's no reason. You love a person. Love is always good. Okay. Here's the thing about manifesting more love through, let's say, love obsession or like magnetizing them, right? What does love obsession mean? When I say love obsession, I do not mean anything negative. I do not mean that they are going to have any needy vibe feelings. I don't mean that anything unhealthy is going to happen with anyone. What I mean by love obsession is that you're fully immersed and enveloped in this love. And you're thinking about, it's like this love is taking up your whole world. It's the most important thing to you. You can feel it. It's emanating. You're sharing it. It's a good thing. And so when you manifest negativity through separation and not being with someone, there's hurt and pain there. There's hurt and pain on your end, which is good for nobody and no thing in your reality. It's not good for you. It's not, because then everything that you look at, you project some sort of lack because that's what you're experiencing. You're experiencing pain, you're experiencing hurt. And I already did the video recently where I told you guys that when you feel anything bad or sad or anything negative, when you feel any of that about your specific person, that is the exact same thing as you bearing ill will for them and manifesting ill will for them. And so a lot of people experience that their specific person is going through bad times. Like they're not doing, they're not happy, they're struggling, like they're not where they want to be in their life, right? So you're experiencing that you're not happy and you're sad. Usually there's like negative feelings or lack feelings, whether how big or small they may be, usually when you want a specific person and you're not with them, there's lack and negativity there for you. And you also perceive that for them and manifest that for them as well. If you learn to harness love energy in the way that I'm teaching you on this channel, this big love obsession, unconditional love that transcends all circumstances and magnetizes big bubble love obsession to you, all of those negative things are going to be gone. There's no more negativity. You and your person are going to be completely enveloped in love. You're going to be happy. You're going to be harmonious. Instead of you being sad, instead of them being sad, instead of you feeling like you don't have what you want, instead of them feeling like they don't have what they want, you're both going to be in this celebration of bubble love. You're both going to be so happy and thankful for each other. I'm so grateful for you. I love having you in my life. I'm so happy that we're together, that we made this happen. I'm so happy that we love each other. I love waking up with you every morning. I love going to sleep with you every night. I love our life together. I love eating food with you. I love sitting with you on the couch. Do you see how this brings so much powerful, good, unconditional love, energy, happiness, joy into your life? It brings it to you and to them in a harmonious and balanced and abundant way. It clears up and transcends so much negativity. And so this is why I teach people to manifest people that they actually truly love. There's no harm in it. In fact, it's the opposite. So when you are turning on the lights and when you're taking on this feminine goddess, superpower, love obsession, magnetizing energy, and you're knowing that they're not going to know what hit them. They're going to be so surprised. They're going to experience something so magical and wonderful that they have never had before. And I can't wait. And I'm just going to sit here and I can't wait. When you're doing that, you are luring them into love and you are luring yourself into love. This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. When people fall in love, they like it. And so do you. It's healing. You're healing all of the spaces where love wasn't there before for you and for them. It helps people know that they can achieve and be who they want to be. You love and support each other, and love grows. And people start to change their lives in positive ways and pursue their dreams in bigger ways when that happens. And so will you. And it's also very beneficial for you because you're practicing love energy. You're practicing God state. You're practicing, thoughts that are benevolent and good, right? You're practicing loving. And you're practicing feeling good about yourself because automatically all of your feelings of, your problems with your doubts and your fears and your worth and your value issues and then your projection issues, all of that is automatically not there anymore. So manifesting love obsession is first of all, it's very easy. It's very freaking fun. It's very easy. But it's also one of the best endeavors that you could ever accomplish because this energy, when you get momentum behind it, and everything that you experience has momentum. So this energy, when you get momentum behind it, it becomes something that perhaps is something that you've never experienced before. There's a lot of people who have not experienced the kind of love that I know because I've experienced it. Love starts as a feeling, right? But do you know that love can grow momentum to be completely visceral? As if you really are under the influence of love in a very, very physically evident way, not under the influence of anything else. and it permeates all the pieces of your reality in the same way. So the biggest mistake that people make about this love obsession thing is they misinterpret it, and they sort of they think that it's impeding on someone's free will. It is not. They think that it's somehow a bad thing. It is not. Do you love this person? Do you have good intentions? Do you want to love this person? Do you want to have love between you? That's that's perfect. And then the other thing is they think like, maybe I don't have a right to manifest this person or to bring them in. They think that it's like a selfish want. When you actually learn how to focus on the love energy part, your impure motivation dissolves. If you allow your ego human mind to try to accomplish this, then it's going to go farther from you, because you're just trying to like, how do I make this happen? How do I manipulate this into happening? When you're in this obsession energy where you're like, I know that like I'm magnetizing this, and I know they're they're not gonna know what hit them, and I know it's gonna happen. When you're doing that, you're in the energy, you're not in the trying. Okay, so you're not in lack, you're just in knowing. No harm. It's the opposite. That's not the way that we're supposed to live. So anyways, if this video helped you, make sure that you comment below. Let me know if you learned anything. Let me know what you took away from this. If you're still watching, that means that you like the video. So if you want me to make more videos on obsession, first of all, ask me in the comments what video you want me to make. And subscribe, hit the bell, and click all, so that you know every time that I'm going live, because I'm going live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. EST. If you want me to teach you specifically and go through my programs on everything that you need to know to do all of these things that I talk about on my channel, join my Manifesting University. I go live every single week on Sunday. I cover lessons with visuals and homework and practices, and there's Q&A, and I have everything from basic foundational needs to quantum leap, instant manifestation, advanced stuff. So that link is going to be in the comment below. I'm going to put a comment, but it's also in the description. I love you guys. I'll see you either in the university, or I'll see you on Monday.